What up, though? What up? We're back at you with another one. And another one. So today we got a reaction video to, it's called Bad Boys, Why Women Want Them. You know I had to tap in for this one. You know I had to. We're going to hear what he say. I'm going to let you know what I think. And I want you to chime in the comments and let me know what you think. So with no further ado, let's go right in real time. Let's get it.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is bad boys. So there are a number of masculine archetypes that successfully attract women, but no archetype is more perennially successful in attracting women than is the bad boy. And this is actually counterintuitive to a lot of men, especially those men who listen to women when they describe what they are looking for in a man.
I got to chime in right away. What did I talk about in my previous episodes? This is what I did. I started off bad boy. No problems with women going crazy over me in my younger days, high school. Chicks like, I'm fighting them off. One girl in the house, one holding on to my leg. They try to jump on the girl. One girl tried to jump on me or have me jumped on by some guys, and I never even slept with the girl. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Stupid. But we're going to let them continue to cook. It's just, in this one right here, you're going to hear me chime in a lot because of the experience, and I've been saying this. As I'm standing behind the chair, I listen to the women in the chair. I tried to be the good guy like they claimed they wanted, like they said. And after that, I had nothing but problems, heartache, and pain from there. That's why I'm able to give you this knowledge now.
You know what comes out of their mouths. I want a man who respects me, a man who gives green flags, a man who buys me flowers, a man who is emotionally available, etc., etc., etc. And allow me to assure you, a bad boy ain't doing any of that shit. And yet, he is going to enjoy a great deal of optionality when it comes to women. So let's talk about why this might be the case. First and foremost, you have to appreciate that bad boys violate rules and social norms. Like, that's essentially what makes them bad. However, leaving the moral judgment behind, it's this behavior that makes these men antisocial and dangerous. And dangerous men are attractive to women for a variety of reasons. First, danger is exciting. And excitement, like by definition, is emotionally stimulating. And any effective seduction technique works precisely to the extent that it succeeds in stimulating a woman's emotions.
This is so true. This is why women love the ID channel. You got all these suspense things they like to watch. Somebody coming, breaking the house and killing them. You know what I mean? Like, they can live by themselves and be terrified, but yet want to watch all of these shows that are scaring them to death because they like that. It stirs up the emotion. So I'm going to let him cook. He going in right now, though. Definitely.
However, there's a deeper reason behind why this particular form of emotional stimulation is so effective with women. Namely, it allows the woman to transcend her fear through identification. Say what you want about antisocial men, but they possess some degree of courage. It takes courage to break rules and violate social norms, to say the thing that no one else is willing to say, and do the thing that no one else is willing to do. Most people, especially women, go through life afraid. They're afraid of the consequences of acting according to their own desires or speaking their truth because they fear the resultant censure and social judgment. So the bad boy communicates through his actions that he has the courage to act in line with his desires and to speak his mind. This makes him incredibly attractive, as it suggests that he is both strong enough to exist without the approval of others and resourceful enough to exist without the support of others. Which segues into my next point. Bad boys give main character energy. Why? Because they take what they want from life rather than ask permission to receive it. Most people are working within the system to scrape together the satisfaction of their desires. They wait and they toil and they submit and they obey. But bad boys don't do that. If they want it, they take it. Or at the very least, they have the courage to operate within their own systems. Consider the Disney movie Aladdin, in which Princess Jasmine falls for Aladdin, our lovable street rat. Aladdin, first and foremost, is a criminal. He's a thief. He exists in the underclass of society, and yet he succeeds in seducing the Sultan's daughter. He does so under false pretenses, granted, but it kinda requires a dangerous antisocial personality to seduce under false pretenses.
This explains a lot. This is why coming up I would see women, I would hear from women, and they would be dating like I know some people I grew up with. The chicks was going crazy over one of the guys, and he was actually a car thief. A car thief. Like, seriously. And they loved him. You know what I mean? Because he's going against the social norms. You know, the guys who get in trouble all the time. My era, the drug dealers. The drug dealers was everything to these women. You know what I mean? It's even a song. They're like, please, you work for UPS. So, you know, being a regular guy, having a regular job, wasn't attractive because they liked that. Just like recently I was watching a Ted Bundy documentary, and the women on there were talking about how good this guy looked. Stupid. They was talking about he was cute and handsome, and they wanted to have his baby and things like this. This dude was young women and murdering them. And they are on the news talking about how fine the guy is, how handsome he is, and how they like him. It's crazy. So it just shows you what he's saying is true, and that women do like these type of men. Typically, not all women, but most women. I just said that way. Most women.
Isn't it? In any case, that's the deeper meaning of the movie's show-stopping hit, A Whole New World. Down there, on the ground, that's society. The system of rules and laws and social norms where everyone is fruitlessly toiling in the desperate hope that one day they might be able to earn their heart's desire. But with a magic carpet, Aladdin is quite literally above all that. Come with me, princess, and you will finally experience the life that you have been too timid and afraid to procure for yourself. Identify with me, and you'll be able to access vicariously some of the courage, some of the boldness that you need in order to fly above the rules and judgments and expectations of others. You can't do it yourself. How do I know that? Because if you could have done it, you would have done it by now. Identification with me is your ticket out of the labyrinth of rules and self-denial, and an invitation into personal freedom, even if that personal freedom is fundamentally antisocial. Now, this is a big part of why women are attracted to wealthy men as well. Wealth, like antisocial boldness, allows people to live above the rules of society. I don't make the news, I just report it. Like, you've all been following the Epstein files stuff, right? What we're seeing is the unveiling of a global cabal of elites that have long been operating over and above not only the rule of law, but the dictates of like basic human dignity and morality. Many of the revelations are disgusting and abhorrent, if not completely evil, but none of them should be completely surprising. People seek wealth and power in order to not be constrained by the forces that bind the masses. Rules for thee, but not for me, kind of a thing. So that's a big part of why women are attracted to wealth. Like antisocial tendencies, wealth offers a kind of liberation from the constraints that most people are resigned by their powerlessness to operate within. Aligning herself with these types of men allows a woman to vicariously participate in that freedom. Still not convinced? Well, here's another reason why bad boys are perpetually attractive to women, especially if they signal aggressiveness. Again, this is counterintuitive. Why are women so much more concerned with their safety than men are? Because they navigate a world in which the vast majority of men are physically stronger than they are.
And this is one of the things that we teach. For you to be in your masculine frame, because women want to feel safe. They want to feel safe. It's a few dating coaches in the streets of YouTube who will tell you to be in your masculine frame, stay there, no matter what's going on. Try your best to stay in frame, because one of the reasons is women are attracted to masculinity, regardless of what they say. Attracted to strength. They're attracted because they want to feel safe. So what he's saying right now about what they choose is because of the safety. They want to feel safe. Even if you really ain't like that, or you're really not a crash out, they want to feel safe. So if they know you will crash out at a moment's notice, they feel even safer with you.
If push came to shove, it would be very difficult for the average woman to defend herself from even an average man's physical aggression. Don't let the movies fool you. Women are aware of this on some level, which is why they say with their mouths that they are looking for a man who makes me feel safe. She doesn't feel safe most of the time. So why do so many of these women then align themselves with aggressive, if not brutal, men? Because doing so dramatically decreases the number of potential threats to her. Think about it. Most men are, at least potentially, a physical threat to most women. And most men are not going to with the most aggressive and brutal subset of men. Therefore, if a woman can succeed in aligning herself with the most threatening man who no other man is going to threaten, then she has succeeded in reducing her number of potential threats from most men to one man. In such a case, all she has to do is stay safe from all men is to neutralize one of them, which she can do using her feminine wiles. Of course, a lot of these aggressive, brutal men, end up applying that aggression to the woman in question. So it's certainly not a risk-free strategy, but that's kind of the underlying unconscious.
This is true as well. I dealt with a situation one time where I had a client, and I would always try to tell women what a good guy would do. Basically, I would say a good guy, not the bad boy. I would try to tell them the good things that they need to hear, because I'm trying to be a good guy and I'm thinking that's what they want. So she was telling me that her baby daddy was, basically beating her or whatever, putting her hands on her. So I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just listening to the woman and I'm responding. So I tell her, if he putting his hands on you, you shouldn't be with him. You should leave him. So lo and behold, I'm out passing out flyers to one of my parties. My birthday party was coming up. I'm passing out flyers, and a guy, I hand him a flyer, and he shakes his head and hands it back like, no, I'm good, bro. So I'm like, what's that about? He was like, no, I don't mess with you, bro. And it was tension there. Luckily, one of his boys knew one of my guys, and he's like, pull us to the side, like, let's talk about this. We need to find out what's going on. Step to the side, and he tells me that, yeah, man, you've been telling my girl to leave me. So I'm looking like, who's your girl, B? I don't know who your girl is. And he tells me her name, and it clicked. I'm like, wow, this is her baby daddy. Now, she done went back and told him something I said, but she never left the guy. She was with him. I don't know if he really put his hands on her or not, but this just shows you how they say one thing, but they do another. And also, when you see women in abusive relationships and you can't understand why, a lot of it has to do with what he's saying. Now, I'm not saying none of you guys should go out there and be a crash out. I'm not being a crash out. You shouldn't put your hands on a woman ever. But the things he's saying, this is why they're attracted to those type of guys.
Evolutionarily grounded thought process around why women seek out dangerous men. And don't think that this is some kind of rare phenomenon. The average guy gets like zero attention from women. Zero.
Facts.
Yet, there are literally murderers on death row for whom women are lining up for a conjugal visit. Now, you might say that these are broken women.
They even got shows about this. I'm not sure what it's the name of it, Life Behind Bars. I don't know. You could put it in the comments what the name of the show is. But they got shows about life, love, and lockup or some stuff like that. Some mess. I don't like nothing jail, so I turn the channel when I see some of that mess anyway. But he's right. Look at it. I just talked about the Ted Bundy thing. And he's right. They literally marry a dude in prison. They like it. It's crazy.
Unhealthy women or insert negative adjective women. But let me assure you, they are not all unattractive women. Too many female true crime podcast fans for that. So let that sink in. In any case, those are some of the reasons why women are always going to be attracted to bad boys. Aligning with bad boys significantly reduces the number of perceived threats associated with other men and allows women to vicariously enter into a kind of social freedom that they are too timid and afraid to procure for themselves. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And please send this episode to someone who you think might benefit from its message. I'm thinking a guy who believes most of the things that come out of a woman's mouth when she says what she's looking for in a guy.
So there you have it. I want to know what you think. Chime in. Let me hear your comments. Me personally, I've been telling you guys, and women for that matter as well, you need to be the best you can be. I know I always say that. But you need to be the best you can be. As far as the bad boy thing goes, bad boys usually gonna come out on top. Nice guys finish last, bad boys finish first. But no, seriously, financially, health-wise, social life, all these things, you strive to be the best, stay in masculine frame at all times. And you can strive to be a bad boy, and then you get all the perks that come with that, like myself, bad boy. But like I say, if you want to know, ask a bad boy. Let's go.